What if I told you that the greatest moments in football history didn't happen in club football? They happened at the World Cup. 4 years of waiting. One tournament. And sometimes, one single moment that changes everything forever. Today we're counting down the top 10 most iconic World Cup goals of all time. Goals that made grown men cry. Goals that ended careers. Goals that made entire nations stop breathing for 10 seconds. Let's get into it. Number 10. Robin van Persie. Netherlands vs Spain. 2014 World Cup Group Stage. Spain were the defending champions. They had won everything. And then in the 13th minute, Daley Blind launched a long ball over the Spanish defense. Van Persie was running at full speed. The ball was dropping behind him. Any other player traps it, turns, shoots. Van Persie threw himself horizontal in mid-air and headed it with full power into the bottom corner. The goalkeeper didn't move. Nobody could have saved that. It is one of the most athletic goals ever scored at a World Cup. Netherlands won 5-0. Spain never recovered. They went out in the group stage. Number 9. Archie Gemmill. Scotland vs Netherlands. 1978 World Cup. Scotland needed to win by 3 goals to advance. They were losing. The whole nation had written them off. And then Gemmill picked up the ball 30 yards from goal. Beat one defender. Beat another. Cut inside a third and curled a shot over the goalkeeper into the top corner. The commentary was electric. The crowd went insane. It is the greatest goal ever scored by a Scottish player and one of the most skillful individual goals in World Cup history. Scotland still went out. But nobody cared. That moment lives forever. Number 8. Zinedine Zidane. France vs Brazil. 1998 World Cup Final. Zidane was the best player in the world. France were playing at home. And in the 27th minute, Emmanuel Petit swung in a corner. Zidane peeled off his marker and headed it powerfully into the net. Before half-time, he did it again. Same run, same corner, same result. 2 headed goals in a World Cup final. France won 3-0. Zidane was carried off the pitch by his teammates. It was the greatest night in French football history and Zidane had delivered it with 2 of the most powerful headed goals the sport had ever seen. Number 7. Carlos Alberto. Brazil vs Italy. 1970 World Cup Final. This is not just a goal. This is the greatest team goal ever scored in any match. At any level. In the history of football. Brazil were already winning. They didn't need another goal. But they scored it anyway just to show the world what they were capable of. The ball moved through 8 Brazilian players in 30 seconds. Every touch was perfect. Every run was timed to the millisecond. And then Carlos Alberto, the right back, arrived late into the box at full sprint and thundered the ball into the bottom corner so hard that it nearly went through the net. Pelé said it was the best goal he ever saw. That is all you need to know. Number 6. Dennis Bergkamp. Netherlands vs Argentina. 1998 World Cup quarter-final. 90 seconds left. Netherlands losing. Frank de Boer launched a 60-yard pass into the box. Bergkamp controlled it with his right foot, spun away from his marker in a single movement, and placed the ball into the far corner with his next touch. 3 touches. Goal. Match won. It was a goal of such technical perfection that people still debate how it was physically possible. The control alone would have been enough to celebrate. The finish made it immortal. Number 5. Michael Owen. England vs Argentina. 1998 World Cup. Owen was 18 years old. He had barely played for England. and then he received the ball just inside the Argentine half. Held off a defender. Accelerated past two more. Drove into the box and hammered a shot into the top corner from 18 yards. The whole of England exploded. Bobby Charlton was crying in the stands. That run, that pace, that finish. From an 18-year-old. It remains one of the greatest individual World Cup goals ever scored by a teenager, and it announced Michael Owen to the entire world in one single moment. Number 4. Saeed Al Owairan. Saudi Arabia vs Belgium. 1994 World Cup. This goal is criminally underrated. Al Owairan picked up the ball in his own half with 5 Belgian players between him and the goal. He ran at them. He beat the first, he beat the second. He beat the third. He kept running. He beat the fourth. He was inside the box now. The goalkeeper came out. Al Owairan went around him and slid the ball into the net. The entire stadium was silent for 2 seconds and then erupted. It was 60 meters of pure determination. Saudi Arabia won 1-0. It was one of the greatest upsets of the 1994 tournament, and Al Owairan's goal was the reason. Number 3. Diego Maradona. Argentina vs England. 1986 World Cup quarter-final. 5 minutes after the hand of God. Maradona received the ball in his own half. Turned. And ran. He beat Peter Reid. He beat Peter Beardsley. He beat Terry Butcher. He beat Terry Fenwick. He beat Terry Butcher again, who had sprinted back to try and stop him. He rounded the goalkeeper and scored. 10 seconds. 66 meters. 6 players beaten. BBC commentator Barry Davies simply said, "You have to say that is magnificent." FIFA later voted it the goal of the century. It still is. Number 2. Ronaldo. Brazil vs Germany. 2002 World Cup final. This one is different because of what it meant. In 1998, Ronaldo had a seizure the night before the World Cup final and played like a ghost. Brazil lost. The world felt sorry for him. 4 years later, he was back in the final against Germany, and he scored twice. 2 clinical, composed, brilliant strikers' goals. His celebration after the second was the most emotional moment in the history of the tournament. The man had come back from the lowest point of his career to win the World Cup with 2 goals in the final. It was redemption on the biggest stage in sport. Number 1. There is only one choice. Pelé. Brazil. 1970. Not one specific goal, but a performance across an entire tournament that will never be matched. Pelé scored 4 goals at that World Cup. He assisted 6 more. He had a shot from the halfway line that the goalkeeper barely saved. He dummied a pass without touching the ball. He was 29 years old, and he was the greatest footballer who had ever lived, and everyone watching knew it in real time. The 1970 Brazil team is the greatest international team ever assembled, and Pelé was its heart, its soul and its genius. Those are the 10 most iconic World Cup goals of all time. If you think we missed one, drop it in the comments right now. We read every single one. If you enjoyed this video, smash the like button and subscribe, because we upload World Cup content every single day. The 2026 World Cup is coming, and we are going to cover every story, every moment and every goal. We will see you in the next one.